Hello, this is your buddy Tom Taylor from the Indiana Jones Minute. Because you are a loyal and faithful listener of our show, you are now about to be treated to an episode of another movie sort of by minutes podcast I co-host called The Movie Hole. The Movie Hole used to be the Caddyshack Minute, in which my co-hosts Mike Dimaria, Dan Lewis, and I covered the classic Caddyshack 1 minute at a time. And then we ran out of Caddyshack and had no intention of watching Caddyshack 2, and instead we became the Movie Hole, where we do basically the same thing but with a much wider net of movies. We did a mini-series covering A Christmas Story over the holidays last year, and now we are diving headfirst into The Blues Brothers. The show is weekly, covering 2 minutes of the movie each time, and as those of you who are already fans of the show know, the show tends to become more than just a dissection of the movie minutes, expanding to take on more of the wider scope of the human experience, from the magic of discovering woods porn, to the dangers of buying a bike from Gordon Jump on different strokes, to how much Phil Collins sucks, etc. And rumor has it this season, one of us might be having that mental breakdown we've been waiting for so long. We'll have to see. So enjoy the first episode of our Blues Brothers coverage, whether you've seen the movie or not, and you should. And if you like it and you want tons more, visit us over at movieholepodcast.com for this and all of our past and future episodes. And now I'm going to get in this car with Jake and Elwood Blues.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it. Wow!
Welcome back to the Movie Hole. This is the podcast where, unbeknownst to you, we discuss the film The Blues Brothers, 2 minutes at a time. What did he say? This used to be the Caddyshack Minute. We did it 1 minute at a time. What's going on?
There's a reason behind it.
There is. A lot of thinking and planning went on behind this. Anyway, I'm Tom Taylor, and I'm here with Mike DiMaria.
Happy New Year, 2018.
Yeah, welcome, one and all. We're also here with Dan Lewis.
Yeah, as we record this is January of 2018. We've just had a new year, and I'll just say 2 minutes at a time. This is something we do for the fans. This is twice as efficient a way to watch a movie.
You thought we were riveting and rambling at 1 minute at a time with Caddyshack, and even more so with, 20-minute globs that we did A Christmas Story in.
Right.
But now it's a tight 2 minutes.
As contrasted with the 1 minute approach for Caddyshack, you're gonna get a relatively breakneck pace here. So,
that's right.
Well,
put your helmets on.
For all you purists, for all you nerdlingers, the purists about the minute format, the movie by minute format. Mm-hmm. We'll start the new by saying "f*** you" because we're still within the format.
Right.
It's still movie by minutes.
We took a big, huge magnifying glass to the contract.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. For 2018, we're going to do it 2 minutes at a time because you know what? That's just the way it's going to be.
Right.
All right. So we're still within the format. So go f*** yourself if you're saying, oh, you're breaking from the format. No, we're still within the format. So what that means is when the summer rolls around, the temperature gets hot and they start having those movie by minute, those panel shows and those conventions and shit, we're coming in there regardless if it's, we're going to tear apart your 1 minute panels with our 2 minute approach. And guess what? We're going to change this format. All right. We're still within the format. So we'll see you at those panel discussions, people. All right.
Yeah. Should I tell Mike that other people have already done 2 minute shows and even 5 minute shows? And
I don't know. Not in my world, they haven't. I don't delve into that. I don't follow this. But I'm telling you right now, I read the brief really quick before I agreed to do this show. That we're still within the format. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. We had our lawyers look at everything. Everything was signed and co-signed.
And just so you know,
Tangent.
Before we dive into this, we're doing the extended version of the movie, right? So explain that.
That is
Tom.
true. No one knows why, except for me. And the reason is it was the easiest one to break up into 2 minute chunks because I already had it on my computer.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So explain
for
how many minutes?
The extended cut is, I believe the original cut is 2 hours and 13 minutes, and the extended cut is, 2 hours and, supposedly there's 18 more minutes.
Yeah.
Do the math.
Jeez, it's like this movie is like a 2.5 hour movie.
It is.
Yeah.
It's going to take a long time.
That's like
we
the
better
same
like
as
this
the
thing.
new Star Wars movies, basically. And if you ever watching Blues Brothers, sort of saying, if only this were longer.
Yeah.
And this
So
will be
we're
for
about to
you.
go on a journey here. Then
Yeah, we
we're
are.
about to go on a journey that it's a large chunk of time that we're going to go through. We're going to
Yeah.
spend some
Right.
time together, but there might be some like life events that'll happen during this time.
Yeah,
We-
when you think,
Well,
oh,
there's
this
certain
movie's going to be
Right.
done like next spring
right in
or something,
2019
or next summer, whenever we start airing these things.
So we're going to
well,
see.
there's
Well,
a
we
lot of
lost,
life that can happen in there.
We're gonna
during
have
the-
loved. We're gonna have lost.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
during the Caddyshack minute, I
Right.
believe we
Pets-
lost.
You know,
we
new
lost
pets will have died
Prince.
by now. In this amount of time.
Right,
You
we
know?
lost David Bowie. I mean, a lot
We
of
did.
we lost. I mean, we are going to lose some people. We don't know who they are yet. We would if we did know, we would certainly let them know, or
Let's each make a list.
try to get in touch with their representatives.
Let's name 3 people who will be dead by the time we're
let's
done
not
with the
do
Blues
that.
Brothers.
What I'm
Let's
saying
not.
is
That's
personally
grim.
I'm saying within our own lives.
Oh, God,
You know?
yeah. Oh, don't even talk about it.
I'm not,
yeah.
but I'm not talking about just.
Fat.
I'm talking.
Heaven forbid.
No, but I'm talking about we may lose jobs, we may gain jobs, we may move to a different city, we may, it's a chunk
Yeah.
of time. So
Mike and I might hang out in person. Who knows?
Yeah.
Dogs and cats living together. Mass
it's
hysteria.
a different movie.
But bears
yeah.
mentioning that Tom did talk about the demise of his own parents quite a bit in the last during the Caddyshack minute.
They're hanging on. As of this recording, they're doing fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
Knock
of
on
course, of
blessed
course.
wood. Jesus.
Do we have any predictions though? Maybe instead of the Tom's really macabre prediction, we can go with just a general prediction. Mike, Tom, do you have any predictions? What will happen while we were
predict-
recording?
Does it count if the prediction is a goal? Is that cheating? Like if you're
No,
planning for something to happen, or you
it does
want
not
something to
count.
happen?
You can't do that. You can't do stuff that's
Oh,
within
shit.
In your control.
Okay.
your control.
What if it's something I will never actually put effort into doing? So if it does happen, it'll be a miracle that I had nothing
Why
to
don't
do
you
with.
say it?
and
we'll
you're predicting
decide.
it would happen? I don't understand why you
You
would
get
do
in
that.
shape.
No, I would like it to happen. I would like to be in a different job by the time this thing is done. How about
Okay.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, I could go by. I was going to go with that one maybe, but
Oh, really?
You
We
stole
could all
it
do it.
already.
Let's have a pact.
No, that's not very exciting.
Yeah. Well, let's take this conversation offline.
All right. Let's
All right,
take it to
we'll
the
put some
parking
of
lot.
your, we'll put some, I was gonna say we'll put your ideas in the parking lot.
I'm gonna make out with my ideas in the parking lot. How about that?
Hmm. How long is it going to take us to do this goddamn caper?
I think this is well. Okay, there's
About
some variables
150
here.
minutes, so it'll take about 75 episodes.
It's about 74, 2-minute chunks.
Mm-hmm.
However,
And
I
those
was
are
thinking
weeks,
as I
'cause we're
I
gonna-
watched this full movie the other day as I was taking down the Christmas tree. Not to date the podcast, but we already did explicitly, so it's okay.
Yeah.
And Dan, you had suggested something, and I think it might not be a bad idea. Is the musical numbers are maybe their own episodes or something? Like we don't cut it off in the middle because it's not at the end of the thing, but it's at the end of 2 minutes or something.
Right.
Like once we get into a musical number, we might just cover that in an episode.
That
So
might
that
be
might
the way to go.
mess
Yeah,
with
I
the
see.
with the numbering.
Yeah, we don't want to cut in the middle of a song. I mean, I feel like it's disrespectful.
Well, it
to
depends,
some of
but
the great
also it
artists.
depends. Like, okay, yeah, I know what you're saying. Like a musical number, as it's self-contained.
Yeah.
But at the end, when they're at the Grand Hotel Ballroom, the band keeps playing and the car chase
Oh, right.
starts.
No, that's
Yeah. No, that's 2 minutes at a
Right.
time.
Right.
I agree.
But if we're
You
talking
see,
about,
this is why we do a
if
show
we're
together.
talking-
We're all completely simpatico. We
Right.
know exactly what's going
yeah,
on.
you and me were the same. What movie?
I'm not like you. You're an asshole.
Yeah, what movie is that from? Falling what?
Falling down.
Right. Okay. So let's
We're
do.
gonna be
So, we're
falling
gonna
up?
do so okay, we got all the bases covered.
Yes.
Well, and let's get into this the bookends, right? We're gonna start
The Blues
bookends.
Brothers from 1980. Minute 1 and 2 begin with the Universal logo, and they end with two guards chatting outside a prison cell.
Right.
Right,
Beautiful.
and this is the extended version. So
Extended version.
Not
And I
a
got,
lot of-
one plus of the extended version already right off the very, very beginning is that it's got the old 70s Universal logo and not, if you're watching the original episode or original version on Amazon, that's got like the current, modern Universal logo. And I don't like it when they do that. I don't like when they replace part of the movie with a new thing just because it's new. I don't like
Star
that.
Wars. I think Star Wars did that, didn't it?
Right.
Yeah, they did.
Maybe like
And
if
the
the
way
new
they-
version
Yeah.
added in James Belushi and just put him over John Belushi.
Or yeah, where they went into like the Return of the Jedi at the end. where they put a young Anakin Skywalker
Oh.
hologram in there.
Oh, don't get me started.
That was the worst.
What didn't they do to those poor movies?
No, please don't get him started. That's not.
Yeah,
he doesn't
please
mean that
don't.
rhetorically.
Come on, we're
Don't
having
get
a
him
hard time.
started.
We're trying to have fun here.
I'll, I'm not going to compare over and over again to Caddyshack Minute, but it's hard not to.
Go ahead.
That was this movie's clearly aims higher and is better because that movie was just Orion, which is part of the
That's
universe, and this is the whole universe.
Right.
Right.
Both these movies start in space.
Yeah, they
Which is
start in
exciting.
space. We open on Earth,
No. And what part?
Right.
and
Its
more
own-
specifically Joliet, Illinois.
Yeah, we cut
Joliet,
right from Earth to Joliet. Yeah. Oh,
But
and by
is
the way,
there-
there's all these opening shots of like this movie that are like I find this movie to be a joyous, exciting movie.
Mm-hmm.
But like the opening shots of this movie are downright grim and dark
It's like
and
Blade
weird.
Runner. It feels
It's,
like Blade Runner.
exactly like Blade Runner.
Yeah, very
But
weird.
what I was saying,
Yeah.
is this is Joliet? Is this steel mills? There got to be. There's steel mills. Are there steel mills in Joliet?
That's got to be Gary, those shots.
That's Gary.
Right?
That's what I was
Oh,
thinking.
could be. Smells
That's
like
the
Gary.
steel
If
fires,
you've taken 90 in
Mm-hmm.
your car or else taken the train, you recognize those flames shooting out of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're in your car,
where
you
they're
know to, like,
they're
roll up
burning
the windows.
dreams. They're burning people's dreams in those things, and that's the flames
Yeah.
you're seeing.
And their teeth.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
That's the Gary, Indiana, the birth home of the Jacksons.
that's right.
Is that true, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jackson.
Michael Jackson,
Gary.
the
Yeah,
Jackson
that's
Five.
right.
Wow.
That's where. What was their dad's name again? They used to beat him.
Joe, I
Joe?
think.
Joe Jackson. Yeah.
Stepping out tonight.
Yeah, not that Joe Jackson.
Oh, I'm
you
sorry.
shithead.
Is she really going out?
Not that
with
one.
you?
No,
Oh,
not that
I'm
one.
sorry. They don't look anything alike, which is so weird. And he's much younger than Michael Jackson. It's strange.
All right. So you're already starting off on the wrong foot.
He's not younger than Michael
very sorry.
Jackson.
Yeah, if you're coming home, drive from Chicago to Detroit, you go right through Gary on 90.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
come in at night, you see the fires, the steel fires burning.
Looks
Yeah.
just like the Blues Brothers.
It
And you
looks
roll up the
just like
windows and,
that.
you close all the air vents because you know it's going to stink to high heaven. Nothing against the beautiful people of Gary, Indiana, but when you drive past that town, it doesn't smell good.
For a while, I got into some photography. I just thought I fancied the idea. I'd take some good photos, and I got this camera from the Chicago Tribune, where I was working at the time, where they had gotten rid of all these depreciated cameras. They were onto the digital ones, and I was using these 35 millimeter. Anyway, this
We
is
discussed
ancillary.
this in the
Yeah, we know the fate of that camera.
Yeah. Well, this is a different camera. The one that got stolen from the bus was one of the new ones. This is a
Oh.
depreciated camera that they simply gave me.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
So no one
Wow.
cares if this camera gets stolen from a bus, and I still have it. It's built like a tank, this thing.
There's life.
Doesn't matter. It's all just ancillary information. But for a while, I was like getting into, taking, and one day I decided I would go and take some photographs in the morning on Lake Michigan where I'd get some cool light and stuff. And always to the south, it would be this brilliant red light for the sunrise. And I do believe that it was through that filter of like haze and
Yeah.
burnt up dreams and hopes of people in those foundries that
Yeah.
like created this it's created this filter for the light, and from a distance it was really quite beautiful. Tried it a couple
Blues.
times and it was pretty consistent.
That's glorious.
What's with the statues of the dogs?
That's
What's going on
weird.
there?
I don't know.
There are
They
these
make a
concrete
point.
statues of like just dogs.
Yeah.
I think those are the burial places of like the police dogs they had.
Oh,
or
right.
something. I bet you that's.
Yeah,
Is that
that's
true?
got to be it.
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
No,
That's
that's
a
got
weird
to be
place
it,
to bury
Mike.
a dog, though.
I bet you that's it. That's like where
could be.
their trusted sergeant dog was buried. 'Cause
Right.
It's the penitentiary there, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, from the Joliet Correctional Center, Illinois Department of Corrections Department.
They're raising the Illinois flag.
Yeah.
And right there it says, don't pick up hitchhikers.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it says Joliet Catholic football champs.
Yeah,
Was it like
Yeah.
75, 76, and 77?
that's great.
Which, by the way, I think we're already into extra territory. This is, I think, in the original version, it cuts right from the Joliet sign to the guards walking Jake down the cell block.
Yeah.
So these these signs are bonuses already. Do not pick up hitchhikers. No parking along this highway at any time.
Wow.
Football champions.
Wonder
So
what
Joliet
the,
Catholic, I was interested in the Joliet Catholic because I thought, there's got, that's their claim to fame was probably being in the Blues Brothers.
Mhm.
But But it really wasn't though, because that, you know what? And that's why because I did a search for it and I thought it would say, sign as seen in the Blues Brothers. But this was in the extended version, so it never really, they didn't play this.
Interesting.
See what I'm saying?
So we're already annoying everybody.
But it's one of the
doing this
oldest
version.
Catholic high schools in the Chicago area.
Wow.
Best known for its
Well, that's good to know.
prowess in football.
No, wait, why is that sign at the prison? I thought that was like a prison football team or something.
No. They're showing, it's just a sign that's by the road. Don't pick up hitchhikers.
Oh, okay.
Well,
All right, I get it.
Just
I
high
guess it
school.
wouldn't be hitchhikers at the
Right.
prison.
don't pick up hitchhiking, no ball playing, no bare feet. And
No spitting. Pick
Right.
up that blood.
It's
love
funny because like
Caddyshack.
it's the distance from the prison that makes the picking up hitchhikers a bad idea,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's funny if you drive away from the prison for a while, there might be another sign that says, maybe pick up a hitchhiker.
Your chances are better.
Not a great idea,
you're
but
somewhat
you could
out
do
of
it.
It's still not safe.
And then like a little further out, it goes, hitchhiker's okay, and there's a guy doing the okay symbol with like blinking one eye. Hey.
100% guaranteed.
and then a few miles after
You're
that,
about to
it's-
meet your best friend.
and then after that, it's hitchhikers, picked up, encouraged.
Yeah, exactly.
Mandatory hitchhiker pickup.
Right. Yeah, right. There's a line of them there.
Take
One
a
of them
hitchhiker,
is in
leave a
shackles
hitchhiker.
and chains and a striped outfit. But
I'm being ironic.
How far are
Can
we
I get
from
a
the
lift?
prison right now? Oh, we're good. We're good. 100 miles from the prison. I wouldn't worry about it too
Yeah,
much.
he's exhausted.
Yeah, he's tired.
Feet are killing me. Yeah, and that's why you don't hitchhike.
Nah,
There.
yeah.
I remember in the review. I don't know if it was his original review, but I always got the Roger Ebert books of like home video like reviews that he did because I was a nerd. I was like a boring, sad movie nerd.
Okay.
And I remember him saying that this is a really dark movie, The Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
I never quite understood that. It kind of is. I mean, yeah, certainly this beginning is really grim and weird and somber and kind of uninviting, but and there's some weird stuff that happens in it, but it's God, it's an exciting. Do you guys like musicals generally? And do you consider The Blues Brothers a musical?
It's not a musical. I mean, it would be silly to say it wasn't a musical. It stops, it does these nice little points where there's a song. I don't think of it as a musical, and I generally don't like musicals.
Right.
But
I equate musicals when they're singing the dialogue,
Oh, that's fair.
or some parts.
Yeah.
Some parts where they're singing the dialogue.
right.
Yeah. I'm thinking of like, one of the few like legitimate musicals that I actually really like is, of course, Singing in the Rain. That's everybody's
or
favorite.
Sound of
Yeah.
Music too.
That
Sound of
is a
Music is
great-
good. I like Sound of Music. Parts of West Side Story are good, except it's kind of goofy. But even that, like, I think Sound of Music, or not, Singing in the Rain, I think most of those songs, I don't think any of those songs were written for the movie. I think they're all just sort of like favorites from other
Right.
bygone eras and stuff. So maybe the Blues Brothers does count. I want to consider the Blues Brothers and Nashville to both be musicals, because if they're not, then I don't like as many musicals, and I maybe just want to like musicals. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see what you mean there.
This is more musically exciting to me than most musicals. How about that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
definitely.
Yeah.
I go for this.
Like I get chills at some of the musical numbers in this.
Yeah, I
I don't
love it.
exactly
I mean,
know why.
I love it. I particularly
Yeah.
like Aretha. Well, we'll get into it later, but
Well, no, but
I was thinking the same
But I know
thing.
what you mean. I remember
Yeah.
watching this as a kid, and it'd be like my procrastinating thing to do is I'd be like, I got homework to do, but I'm gonna watch that scene, that Ray Charles scene, one more time, and then I'll go do my homework, and I'd rewind it on the VHS, and
Yeah.
I'd get my Steakums, and I'd hit the play.
Mhm.
And I remember like saying, "Oh, it's just starting. This is so exciting. I'm gonna watch this whole scene and not think about my homework." But as the scene was
Right.
wrapping up, I'd be like, oh, I got to start thinking about my homework now. And then I'd
Right.
start it
Reality's
over. I say, I'll
creeping
watch
back.
it one more time, and then I'll go back and watch it
Yeah.
again. But you'd watch them in the whole segments. You wouldn't stop watching it until
Right.
until the performance was over.
Where does this? We spent a year or so doing Caddyshack. Where does this movie rank with you guys against Caddyshack? You said it pretty well, Mike. Though, like it's definitely like a more crafted movie.
Yeah.
Like it's like Caddyshack is good in spite of itself. Like it's obviously a mess, but we just love it, warts and all.
Yeah.
Well, it had a real director too, so it was kind of
Yeah.
with Landis. It's a little they have a real director.
Yeah.
That guy had a streak.
And they're actually
Like he knew which side of the camera to look through. He knew at the beginning of a scene to say action and not cut.
He had done it before.
But I think
everything.
I think one of the reasons why I like this movie so much is because it's Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think so. You have a relatability to it, and
Right.
as we watch this, we'll point out some of the markers that we're aware of. I mean, some of the markers are very close to where we are,
Yeah.
and I see quite often.
I think some of them I pass
We'll talk
every day
about
on the
it
way
when
to
it
work.
comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. But but we'll get to those in the months and years to come as we go through this movie.
Yeah.
But I think the director you kind of feel it as they're shooting this is saying, we got to make sure we capture Chicago.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's.
So I think there was a lot of thought. There was a lot of thought that was put into to capturing the landmarks and the sense of place.
Yeah.
And the character. So there was the character. One of the characters was the
Chicago plays itself.
Yeah. We're gonna kill that son of a bitch. All right.
So,
we talked a lot about this movie during
a quick note about the. First of all, I love the shot of the. Well, we'll get to that in a second. Quick note about the football. Just with a little bit of research here, Joliet definitely won those championships.
Oh, nice.
For a football.
Yeah,
but note that the 75, 76, and 77 seasons championships were actually won in 76, 77, and 78. Because you play the football championship after the new year for the previous season. They went on to win the next year after that, which is not listed on the sign.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, because it hadn't happened yet.
Right. This gives you a little indication about when the B crew was sent out to get this footage. A good year and a half before the release of the movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything about football other than the fact that no one should play it. But it seems to me pretty impressive to have 4 consecutive championships like that. That means star players are graduating and moving on.
Yeah.
Or it could have just been like a Fast Times at Ridgemont High situation where they just they flew in Forrest Whitaker just for games.
Yeah, and they wrecked his car to pump him up. Yeah,
right.
That's next. We'll do that one next.
Yeah, right.
He was in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Damone. I know what guys want. I know what guys want.
Was that in that movie? Probably.
The Waitresses?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was one of the scenes
from
with
Akron.
Damone.
They have one of my favorite Christmas songs, by the way.
They do.
Christmas rapping. Great song.
I love that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
All right.
Welcome to the Waitress's Minute. We get another new scene already. Yeah, like instead of like cutting right to Jake, we get like the guards, these 2 guards.
No, wait, let me go back. Sorry, let me go back.
Jeez.
I'm sorry, but before we get into the guards, I have to say the flag raising is great.
It is.
The camera is going up on a cherry picker at the same rate as the flag is being raised.
Yeah.
And it's a very cool way to reveal the building.
I gotta say, I went to film school and I know nothing about how to talk about movies and how they're made. Like I just sort of watched movies when I was in film school and appreciated them and liked them. But there's something about the way John Landis either moves or doesn't move the camera that I find very engaging. And it's true of like all of his, from like Kentucky Fried Movie through, let's say, Coming to America, which I've never seen, but I'm sure that gets in there.
Coming to America is fabulous, and you still haven't
Wait a
seen
minute,
it.
You've never seen it?
I've never seen Coming to America.
Tom, let's get a little sidebar here about you never watched. You never watched Bad Lieutenant Port of Call New Orleans. You never watched MacGruber, which I telling you is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And then you never saw Coming to America.
But I did
it's
get you to watch
some
Taking Pelham
people
1, 2, 3.
told you it's not good. Those people are crazy.
Did somebody tell me it wasn't good? I have a feeling I wouldn't like it as much.
You weren't excited about it because you had this feeling you wouldn't like it, and that you've gotten mixed reviews or something. But like, let me tell you right now.
Yeah, you know where you probably heard it from? Probably at film school.
Maybe.
Yeah.
In film school, they probably
it's no
say
trading
it's
places.
crap.
There's your first mistake. Yeah, film school. Oh, it's no 400 blows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You 400 blows.
Yeah. It's no 7 Samurai.
Right. Jeez.
I was saying
Tom.
in the what?
Watch the movies.
I will. I got a little movie marathon lined up.
I
for
watched
myself,
all
don't
the
I?
movies you told me to watch.
I know. I'm a bad person.
Great,
I thought about watching one or both of those before we started this, and then I didn't.
Yeah.
So there we are.
Well,
Here
we'll do a MacGruber sidebar at some point. You can
will.
break it down and give me your critique.
I'll surprise you. When's your birthday? I'll surprise you for your birthday and tell you that I watched MacGruber.
Folks, remember that my birthday is the first line from Papa Was a Rolling Stone. It was the 3rd of September.
Oh. Yeah. I never would have known.
Yeah. Impossible to forget now.
Well done. But I'll manage to forget it, don't worry.
I expect any of all of our underwriters and fans to remember that date.
Yeah.
Wait, we have underwriters?
Well, not yet.
As far as you know. I mean, yes,
Right.
absolutely. 100%.
Right.
But yeah, the camera work in these movies is like this move up the flagpole is beautiful, but there's also so many times where his camera does not move at all. Like it's really kind of, even when it's moving, it seems kind of like locked down and very planned and very, which I guess is how you make movies. But it's like there's something very, I don't know, symmetrical and smooth and sharp about these early movies of his, and I love it.
So is this really a comment on the kind of equipment, like a very quality Steadicam type situation?
No, it's like there's like all these like kind of like just very static reaction shots of things and like just minor movement within like a wider. I don't know. I'll keep my eyes peeled as we go.
Well, I think they said, you know what, if we're going to make this musical comedy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you think about all the movies in the 70s, like the Steve McQueen movies and all the cop movies and all the movies with car chases that took it seriously. But then you got this movie that has probably the best car chase of any movie ever. Mm-hmm. Like real time, real speed, car crashes, just insanity.
Just joyous destruction.
And it's better than any Fast and Furious that's been made up to date.
Yeah. Well, for one thing, they use actual cars. They crash cars by crashing cars into each other.
Yeah.
Right.
For God's sake. Burt Reynolds was right.
What did Burt Reynolds say?
He said in my day when we wanted to crash two cars together, we crashed two cars together.
Yeah.
He was bemoaning all this, CGI destruction and stuff.
He's right. I mean, the fake car crashes are not going to look right to me. A lot of movies now, there are amazing things they can do with CGI, and who knows what I'm watching that is CGI that I don't know is CGI. But
exactly, yeah.
There's
a lot of that, but
I do think I see stuff a lot of times where I go, well, that was obviously not a real thing.
Right.
Doing that to a real thing.
They go bananas with the they like make the camera go places where like it goes through like a pane of glass or something. And you're like, well, yeah, okay. Congratulations. You made the camera go through a pane of glass. I'm so proud of you. How many buttons did that take?
I don't like stuff that reminds me there's a camera. And I got into this. I got into this before, I believe, when it came to the movie Gravity. And anytime there's one where there's something splashes on the lens of the camera, I hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching a movie like a CGI, I think it was Big Hero 6, the animated movie.
Seen it.
And there's shots where like it kind of points into the sun and there's like dust on the lens. You're like, really?
Yeah. Why would there be dust on the lens? It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Yeah, it's
What's
animation.
the point of making a CGI movie if you have to worry about dust on the lens?
Fake lens flares too, by the way.
Yeah.
Very common.
Good grief. You know what did we all see Last Jedi here?
Yes.
It's been 7 months since it came out by the time this airs.
Yeah, I just saw it a couple weeks ago.
And you loved it, right?
Yeah.
All right. See it again. You'll love it.
I liked it.
But one thing I loved about that
I liked it, but
I can't say I loved it.
Some parts were,
No, it's definitely got some issues. It's got some problems, and it took me a couple of viewings to just fully embrace it and love it. But
I was only going to spend $14 on it once.
It's a commitment.
Exactly.
Come on.
Tom's in for $80 so far, and it's going to be a lot more when you factor in all the Happy Meals he's going to have to buy to get all the toys and everything.
Maybe that's a prediction. How much will I spend on The Last Jedi by the time next Christmas rolls around?
Well, let's stop here. Pause here.
I had a great point to
put a
make.
bookmark in. How much do you think you've spent on going to see Star Wars movies in your?
Oh, come on!
Oh, this is good.
And then
first we got to go. Okay,
factor in rentals.
Did my parents buying me tickets when I'm a kid? Does that count?
Yeah, money invested. So I'm not talking about toys. I'm not talking about anything else.
Just seeing the movie.
Whole other ballgame. Just viewing the movie, whether it's on, and I would even factor in buying the DVDs at some point.
Oh God!
And then buying whatever you do on iTunes now.
You know what sucks? Right. I could probably calculate this and get kind of close.
Yeah,
the
you
right
could,
answer.
especially when you've gone so many times. It's easier to get close because all you got to do is, you know what I mean? It's one of these
It's
guess
like
the
8
jelly
times
beans.
100.
Yeah, and it's just it's
but when he went in the 80s, it was what, $5, $6?
Right, I'm thinking like
Adjusted for
$3 or
inflation.
something for a kid in 1977.
But then you got popcorn and you got all that stuff. That's investment towards a movie.
Does that count?
It does.
No.
Yes, I say it
I'm
does.
just saying. All right, no,
I'm going to try to
you're
figure
right,
this out.
Are you saying paid into the franchise? Well, yeah.
I'm just saying that the movie tickets.
Okay.
The movie tickets or purchasing of the videos, or of the tapes of the videos of the actual files.
At the risk of getting hung up, I don't think he's not going to be at home making his own popcorn if he's not at that movie. That's part of the movie experience that he's not going to have spent that money.
So wait, you're pro popcorn or no? I can't tell.
We need to figure this out.
Go ahead, throw it in there. I don't give a shit.
I'm actually going to try to figure this out and have an answer for us next time.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'll show my math. I'll let you know how I try to figure it out.
Yeah, we want to see the math. We want to see the
It's going to be a lot of estimates. I don't know exactly how many times I saw The Empire Strikes Back in the theater, but
Right, but I mean, it's just the size of the venture, what you built toward what you are now. It's it's like the man hours, that went into and the money that went into build the Brooklyn Bridge of nerdism that you are.
All right.
Right. This is a prelude to me going, why?
But it's like your 10,000 hours. You put your 10,000 hours in watching this dumb movie.
Boy, howdy.
Right.
Yep.
And you could have been the next Django Reinhardt if you just put those 10 hours into playing guitar.
Wasn't he nuts? Didn't he have like one hand or something? Or
no,
something?
He burned half of his hand
nuts.
in a fire. He had multiple fingers.
Yeah. And still look at him.
Yeah.
Cost him 5,000
hours. We want to talk about nuts. Don't say nuts to me anymore. All right?
What?
Don't make fun of people who are nuts.
Nobody's making fun.
I wasn't making fun of him for being nuts. I just wanted to pigeonhole him as an insane person.
All right.
It's different.
All right.
Anyway, I had a great point to make about CGI in the first shot of Last Jedi. There's like that big, pans down to the planet. You're zooming down through all these ships, and they could have, a lesser director, J.J. Abrams, would have zoomed all the way through those ships, all the way down to the surface of the planet, and then ended up with like the live actors down there. And instead, they zoom through a bunch of ships and they cut down to the planet because that's how movies work, and you don't have to just fly a camera down there just because you can. I really appreciated that, and that's why I think The Last Jedi is a very good movie. Thank you.
All right, Siskel.
Okay.
Nobody's listening.
No.
Thumbs down to that point.
Oh. Boo.
Oh. Ow.
Ow.
Okay. Yeah.
Ow, ow.
What do you want to... Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. We're already out of minutes for this minutes.
Yeah.
It's very boring at the beginning. There's aren't even any credits, like Universal Picture, and that's it.
Right.
No, but we're setting the tone. We're setting the tone for what we're about to go on.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of talk about music. We're going to do a lot of reminiscing.
Yes. We should warn people, if you didn't follow us through Caddyshack and A Christmas Story, you should go back and listen to those. We used to be the Caddyshack Minute. Now we're the Movie Hole. Mm-hmm. But everything's all under this umbrella now, so go back and listen to Caddyshack. It'll change your life. We know it changed ours. But yeah, you can expect cutting, decisive, mind-blowing film critique, and also stories about pooping ourselves and things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Mike, can you tell us
hipsters?
How are we going to ground ourselves here? You noted early in the Caddyshack Minute that we grounded ourselves in the golden age, and that was very important. Golden age of TV, golden age of sandwiches. You mentioned. So what are we grounding ourselves in here? Are we just going back to that? Which, by the way, I have no problem with. I'm just saying.
Right.
Well, I think there'll be an element of that.
It is our lifeblood, after all.
Yeah, I think there'll be an element. I think there's going to be some. I think we're going to ground ourselves in music.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a lot of discussions about music.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to talk. We're going to delve into what is the blues. I think.
Yes.
Very and we're going to and some
probably
other
have some
things
guest
as well.
experts on and stuff.
Yeah, we might.
I still think that's not going to stop Steakums from coming up, and they've already come up once.
Nor Mr. Foghat.
And we may tap into our resident golf expert. I think his name is Kevin from Carl's Golf Land.
Plymouth.
There's not nearly as much golf in this movie, but that shouldn't stop us.
Right.
Yeah, I think we'll be taking some calls. We'll be doing some traveling. So we'll be doing some scenes from the road.
That'd be great.
there might be an episode or two going through a year. I don't think I can go through a year without having a breakdown or two. So I think we'll be.
Yeah.
I may be doing my own on location calls from various hospitals or places,
institutions of various kinds.
Can you give the phone back to the orderly, Mike? We're done with the episode. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
I'll be in a bathrobe calling from the payphone down the hall.
Right.
Now, you're allowed to make fun of yourself as a crazy person.
I don't know how I can tell by your voice, Mike, but I can tell you're wearing a robe right now, and that bothers me.
You got 2 left slippers, don't you, Mike?
Yeah.
Well, that happens.
Yeah. You'll just see me taking deep breaths between every time I say something.
How was the oatmeal today, Mike?
All right.
Sprinkle some cinnamon on there. Right. It'll spice it up a little
bit. Once
I
figure out what to tell HR why I'm not coming into work for the next 3 weeks without giving away the prize, without telling them exactly where I'm at, but kind of alluding to the fact that I actually talked to my therapist because I was kind of planning ahead. I said, when I do pull the trigger, and
figuratively speaking.
Yeah, I was just about to stop right there. That's not what I meant.
Come on.
That's not what I meant.
All right.
No.
When I finally, decide that I need to go take a little break, is there a script that you can, you provide me with that me or a loved one calls HR and tells them that Mike's not going to be in for a while?
Right.
Yeah.
If you are hearing this, it is because Mike is not going to be here for a while.
Yeah,
right.
And then you can go from you say this one little piece of script, then you can choose from the 3 choices below.
Yeah.
We'll let him know that he's having health issues, but everything's going to be okay.
Mike got traded to the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be like Ned Flanders when they took him off and said, "Do you want to go with us, or do you want to go kicking and screaming?" And he goes, "Oh, kicking and screaming, please."
Thanks for stopping by.
Please, with today's technology, you've got a microphone in your pocket at all times with your phone. Please try to record it when they finally come and get you.
Yeah.
And we can put it on the show.
It'll sound like that fight scene from The Killer's Kiss.
Oh, yeah.
Just a bunch of boxes being thrown against the wall.
Right. Chairs falling over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get your hands off me. Sign here.
Beautiful.
Sign there. As soon as you finish signing your name on that last line, they just inject you with something. And scene.
Yeah.
There we go. And that's the Mike Dimaria.
Yeah.
I should say, I didn't come to Blues Brothers until much, much later in life. Unlike we were talking about the golden age and like Caddyshack and everything. Caddyshack was something I saw as a teenager on cable when I wasn't supposed to, and I saw boobs and stuff. But then Blues Brothers, I don't think I even really, I don't know if I avoided it or anything, but it wasn't on my radar until, I don't even know, like college or something?
At least it wasn't as late as Coming to America, which you still haven't seen.
Who knows? The jury is still out on that one. We'll see.
That might be one of those deathbed viewings.
Oh, great.
See, I think my time is near, so wheel the TV in and let's watch that movie.
That's how I'm going to spend my last few moments?
Yeah.
It's really good.
I don't know.
Arsenio Hall.
Oh, he's good in it. I'll tell you right now, he's good in it.
I believe you. I believe you.
By the way, speaking of, you mentioned boobs. Couldn't help but notice. In this movie, what's the rating on this film?
I think it was
R. It is a rated R film.
Yeah, because
of violence,
language.
mainly.
Violence and language.
Yeah, language.
Violence and language. I don't
Violence,
recall.
mayhem.
Yeah.
Nazis.
Mayhem.
Illinois Nazis.
You said mayhem twice.
The fucking Nazi
I like
party.
mayhem.
You can't say that. I'll tell you what, that line right there, when it says it right there in the ratings, it says, if the line is in the fucking Nazi party, that's immediate R.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think these days you're allowed to have one that doesn't refer to sex or something, and you can get away with a PG-13.
Oh, is that right?
But we didn't have that back then in the sunny 1980.
Choose wisely. That's the fuck of a carpenter. I know how to get to Tom. You get to Tom with a little bit of Indiana Jones jokes once in a while.
I do a show about Indiana. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Hey,
no plugging other shows, all right? I mean,
I only did it as a segue to say
my
that
sketch comedy group is doing a live show on Thursday, but I wouldn't plug it here. on Thursday at the Piano
months in the
Fight
past by
Theater
the
in
time
San
this airs.
Francisco. 7 p.m.
You should.
That-
Put it on the listeners' hole. Hey, if you don't know, we have the Movie Hole listeners' hole on Facebook.
and
Go
if
hang
you-
out with us there.
And if you
Have fun trying to look that one up. The movie hole.
no, none of our listeners care right now, but you two should check out funnyordie.com because our video is featured on the main page today.
Hey,
we
it is?
received an email that our Paradox laundry detergent commercial
Oh, I love that.
would be featured on the front page today. So you can vote funny or die. If you're hearing this, doesn't matter at all.
Say it
And
louder.
I've perhaps become famous, although I'm not in the video, nor did I write the sketch. But I was instrumental
Leech on to your...
in the creation of the video on several levels, including the fact that it happens in my kitchen. Okay.
Well, there you go. See? You got a famous kitchen now.
Okay, fine.
People are gonna, Dan Lewis?
Yeah, the one with the
Kitchen
green
Dan?
splashback?
This is the year we put all our efforts into getting famous, right? Let's do it.
Yeah, we should have been doing this the whole time, but
Well,
if you're out there and you know how to get famous, please let us know. Drop us a line on the listeners' hole or somewhere else,
Right.
and we will give you $1 for every successful lead.
And if
Gets
you
us
know how to
famous.
get famous, obviously you might be asking yourself the question, why wouldn't I have done it already?
Mm-hmm.
But consider this a fame emergency, sort of like on the plane where you're supposed to put the mask around the younger ones first.
Right.
Make us famous first, and then after that,
make us
yourself
famous first, then save yourself.
Yeah, everyone knows that fame and money solve basically every problem. They're the utopia at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah. And I need it bad.
So we would like
I
that,
need
please.
it bad. I need it bad.
Yeah.
I need that pendulum upswing.
Mike would settle for a hot pastrami sandwich,
Yeah.
but don't settle for that.
I think Andy Warhol said everybody in the future, everybody will be famous in 15 minutes. That doesn't sound like much, but there's things that people pay a lot of money for that last only 15 minutes.
That's
I'll just
true.
say, yeah.
We're just saying. Just other ways to spend your money, like on us
Right.
Yeah.
or something.
All right.
All right.
Hey, listen.
It sounds like this one's winding down. Hey, listen.
All right, we're just getting off the start. We're not
Yeah.
gonna. You know what?
I gotta tell you, next week is gonna be a little bit boring too. It takes a while for this movie to get started, but when it does,
Same thing for Caddyshack, though.
it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, Caddyshack was all sprinklers and groundhogs, and
By then we had woods porn and yeah.
Yeah, but I went back and listened to we were trying to get a little too technical in those first couple episodes.
Mhm.
And I think when I said this before, so when we started talking about the woods porn is when we gave ourselves license to say, you know what?
That was right out of the gate. We didn't
Right out
plan
of the
that.
gate.
Episode
We didn't plan
one.
for that to be a show about Caddyshack in the background and woods porn up front. We just sort of said, this is where our minds are
Well,
going.
there's nothing
and-
happening in the movie. I mean, you can't.
Right. It worked out beautifully.
Okay, then.
You all agree, don't you, everyone out there? You all agree this is working out beautifully. If you love how beautifully it's working out, please join us next week.
Yeah, that's time for trivia.
Oh, I think we're doing trivia.
Oh, the automatic
cut,
thing just...
cut the
no.
music.
No.
Cut it. We're not doing it.
You know what's really sad?
We're
What's
not
really
going to
sad
do
and
it, you
ironic?
guys.
I have Caddyshack trivia right here.
Oh.
But I can't... it's
You wanna
looking
do
at
one?
me.
No.
Let's do one
No.
for old time's sake.
Should we? All right, this will
All right,
be
just
fun.
one.
I'm excited
All right, we'll
now.
do
Quickly,
one.
make
Let's
it
do
quick,
one.
though. Make it
I
quick.
haven't been having fun this whole time. Oh, Dan's got
Son
a
of
heart
a
out.
bitch.
Hey, speed trivia. Hey, Mike, do a thing where Mike and I have to guess as fast as we can, and whoever gets it first wins.
Okay, sounds good.
Ready?
Here's the actual audio of me getting the stuff out of the box.
There it
Going
is.
for a random card.
Oh, that old sound, like an old
Price
friend.
Waterhouse.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. This is a good one because it's only got three questions on it.
par 3.
All right.
Part 3. Thank you, Dan. Okay. What color are Mr. Haverkamp's pants?
Brown.
Brown. That's one of the options. I'll look at it. That's correct. Brown. Okay. What would Spalding rather do than golf?
Play tennis.
That's exactly right, I assume. I'm looking at the back. Yes. Mike, you're doing horribly.
Because his arm hurts.
Well, my
That's 2 out of
headphones
3.
are cutting out. I have a short in the wire. My headphones are cutting out.
All right,
Oh,
I'm gonna
really?
Give this
You have to,
one.
jiggle
okay.
it.
I'm going to give this one to
Yeah.
Mike. Go ahead.
Who does Carl nearly shoot while hunting gophers?
Ty and Lacey.
That is gosh, we're so good at Caddyshack after all these years.
All right, that has
You
to
guys
be the
nailed
last Caddyshack trivia.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, it
we
should
should
be.
call
It should
we
be.
should call it the Movie Hole The Blues Brothers movie hole with Caddyshack trivia.
with a side of Caddyshack. With a Caddyshack trivia chaser.
Well, I would
With the
get
Demerol
argue that most
chaser.
people who love Blues Brothers also love Caddyshack.
Yeah.
I would think so.
All right, then.
I like to put the box away while I'm still recording.
Yeah, maybe we'll just do Caddyshack trivia for the life of the show.
There's the closing music. If you're listening to this right now, it's because Tom has come up with some closing music for the end.
That's right.
It might be
Who
the
knows what it
Caddyshack.
is?
It's probably the Caddyshack music.
Tom's very lazy.
I'll be honest with you.
It's easy that I didn't put any
All
effort into
right. Scratch my anchor.
it. We'll think of something.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you all of you.
Thank
Thank you
all
for joining
of
us on this tremendous ride that we are on called Life and called the Blues Brothers. We will see you next time here on the Blues Brothers. No, it's not even called the Blues Brothers.
No.
It's the Movie Hole featuring the Blues Brothers. Movie Hole
Caddyshack
colon
trivia.
Blues Brothers.
Sharpen up your...
With a side of Caddyshack trivia.
The Demerol chaser.
To go.
To go.
The glazed donut.
Hey, you scratched my ankle!